Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the Marvel Legends Molten Man Build-A-Figure Wave Doppelganger Spider-Man figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey I'm fucking with. Hype beast we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
7 figures in the wave. You need 6 figures to complete the Molten Man Build-A-Figure. And a quick look at the box art. You can see a picture of the Doppelganger Spider-Man. On the left and right is the same picture. Alright, let's get this bad boy open. See what's what. Alright, here we go. Doppelganger Spider-Man. I'm going to try to do this off the top of the head. If my memory serves me correct, I believe the first time that this guy appeared is during the Infinity Gauntlet saga, when there was doppelgangers of a bunch of the heroes running around. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but that's the first time I can personally remember seeing this character, although I do think that the character made some appearances after the Infinity Gauntlet saga and was showing up with Carnage and some other spider-related characters. Now, this is probably my least desired figure out of the wave. I passed up on the 6-arm Spider-Man from the Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave, and I would have passed up on this guy too had he not come with the Build-A-Figure part. He's packed in with the right arm to complete the Molten Man Build-A-Figure. His bio reads, an evil, mindless duplicate of Spider-Man infused with supernatural energy by the Demo Goblin. The 6-armed doppelganger has deadly claws and can shoot razor-sharp webbing. Alright, so maybe I was wrong. I guess he was created by Demo Goblin. I know it was a big event even back then, and there was a lot of tie-in issues, and you know, it spanned through quite a few different solo books and what have you, so maybe my memory is just off. I guess some pictures will be popping up here to set the record straight. But anyway, looking at the figure here, like I said, I passed up on the 6-armed spider, and I figured this guy would be pretty much that same figure for the most part, and I think it is. There is obviously some additional parts, but you know, I passed up on that figure because I didn't really like the way it looked, and because there was no ab articulation, there was no ab crunch. Now, they've been jerking us on the ab crunch on the female figures for some time, but for them to do this when the original buck that this is based off of, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure Wave Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken, that figure has an ab crunch. So what happened here? I don't know. This is a spider character that deserves as much articulation as possible, and for them to eliminate the ab crunch on this just makes no sense to me. But just looking at him as is, it is kind of cool. He does look okay. I really do wish that they picked the Pizza Spidey Buck though, and then just added the extra arms and extra sculpting. I don't know if that was something that was really costly or what the issue was as to why they didn't do that. But the fact that he doesn't really match up in terms of the body with Pizza Spidey, I think it's a little odd. I think that was a weird choice. When I think doppelganger, I think of a duplicate, you know, pretty much a match as far as the body goes. Now, if they added the extra arms and the crazy, scary face, that's one thing. But, you know, you figure that they would just use the same buck as their premier Spider-Man. With all of that said, there is still some nice texture in here. The spider symbol is raised, so that's some cool sculpting. The head sculpt actually looks pretty good. No accessories aside from the right arm to complete the Molten Man Build-A-Figure, so I'm going to go over his articulation, do some size comparisons, and get you the hell out of here. Head and neck articulation is pretty good. There's a ball peg there. He'll look up really far. He won't look down too far. His chin will actually start to hit his chest, but left and right, pivot, full 360, no issues as far as that goes. All of the arms are on a ball joint at the upper torso, so the arms will come up pretty far. You can actually do a full 360. Each one has a upper bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, a swivel, and a hinge on the wrist. Just as some of the hands differ from arm to arm. You know, some are fists, some are open hands. And here at the pelvis, you have a T-joint. Legs are going to come up pretty far. You can actually do a decent split. You get an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee, a swivel at the upper, I guess what would be the boot. And then you do get a hinge and a pivot on the foot. I didn't really like the way the design of these feet look. They look like slippers. They look like some monster slippers that you would put on or something like that. But I will say that he doesn't have an issue standing up because of how they are designed. But this entire area here is just trash. You know, there should have at the very least been a cut at the waist so you can turn his waist. He doesn't have any waist articulation, any ab articulation, no upper torso articulation. Come on, man. A few quick size comparisons. On the left is the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman, and on the right is the Pizza Spider-Man. So as you can see, you know, the bodies are not the same. I don't really get why they wouldn't be, but I will surely ask. As a matter of fact, shout out to Hasbro. I actually just RSVP'd today for San Diego's press event. So hopefully I'll get to ask them and see exactly what happened here with this guy. And there he is next to Hydro Man from the same wave on the left, and Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman from this same wave on the right. And there's the Mafex Comic Spider-Man on the left and the Mafex MCU Iron Spider on the right. And finally, there he is next to Carnage on the left and the Ultimate Green Goblin Wave Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man on the right. So I totally forgot about this figure. I haven't broken him out in so long, but I forgot that he had these butterfly joints and what have you here. It does look like they reuse some of the parts from this guy, like the lower legs and maybe the arm before the butterfly joint here. So I'm not sure how practical it would have been for them to just use the same base and add the arms onto it. I don't think that was possible now that I'm looking at how much larger the torso is on the Doppelganger Spider-Man. So it looks like they had to sculpt a new torso and then they just used the arms from this old mold and the legs and then sculpted new hands and feet. Still, it's unacceptable to not have an ab crunch in my opinion. Alright, I'm getting out of here. I had some of the details correct. You know, like I said, I was trying to do that off the top of the head. I was remembering from when I was a kid. I mean, this came out when I was probably like 12 or something like that. But yeah, so it was a creation of Demo Goblin that was influenced by Magus. And I kept saying Infinity Gauntlet, but it was the Infinity War Saga. I still have those books too. I'm going to break them out and look at them. But yeah, so Doppelganger Spider-Man definitely came out better than the 6-arm Spider-Man, in my opinion. I don't own that figure, but I definitely saw it in person, saw it in stores, and passed up on it. This guy is not as bad as I originally thought. You know, messing around with him is not terrible, but an ab crunch, a waist swivel would have really taken this figure over the top. Thinking about it now, I don't know that he needed to be on the Pizza Spidey buck, but they needed an ab crunch and a waist swivel, or at the very least some upper torso articulation. Still, I'd recommend that you pick this guy up if you want to complete the Molten Man Build-A-Figure. I know that is not one of the most anticipated Build-A-Figures of the year, but me personally, I'm a completist when it comes to the Build-A-Figures. So thanks for hanging out. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.
That's crispy.